Hello and welcome to On the Mat with Lydia. That's me. Whatever has brought you to your yoga practice today, you are very welcome here. Today's class is restorative yoga for self-love. So in this practice, we'll be exploring just a few really supportive, relaxing, restorative postures to help you tap into your heart space to really nourish yourself and maybe explore what self-love means to you today. So for this practice, you will need 2 yoga blocks or something similar if you have some things lying around the house, a blanket, any old blanket will do, and a pillow. I do recommend having a nice big pillow like one that you would have on your bed, or a yoga bolster. If you have that, that would work as well. So whenever you're ready to go, get nice and cozy, grab your props, and let's get on the mat. We'll start out today in our reclined bound angle posture. So please set up your props just like so. If you need a moment, you can pause the video, get yourself set up. But you'll have one block on the tallest setting, the other block on the lowest setting, giving yourself a little ramp for you to place your pillow or your yoga bolster. Your blanket will be folded up into a little square and seated at the base of your pillow here. So once you have your props set up, you're going to sit so that your hips are right up against the edge of your pillow, sitting on your blanket. Soles of your feet together and knees will open out wide, coming into our bound angle. Now today, if you have any discomfort in your knees, any tightness in the hips, you can take your heels a little bit farther away from your pelvis, creating more space through the legs. So the heels do not have to be super close to really feel the sweetness of this stretch. Now, once you feel all situated, you're going to sit yourself slowly back onto your pillow, laying back onto the support of your props here. And you can readjust yourself as you need to. So if you'd like to take yourself lower or higher, you can do that by adjusting the height of your blocks. You might have to put kind of a weight behind your block if it's trying to slide away like mine did. But you'll find that adjustment that feels right for you, where your body is supported, where you can lay and rest on your props. So once again, feet are together, knees are open, getting that stretch through the hips. Maybe even finding a couple extra blankets to slide under the knees if that feels supportive. Arms will rest wherever they feel natural as you relax back into this shape. And your eyes can close here if that feels safe and comfortable for you. Otherwise, eyes stay open, nice soft gaze towards the ceiling above you. Now, as we really settle into this practice, I invite you to bring your awareness to your breath and to follow the in and out movement as breath comes through your nostrils. As you inhale, following that journey of the breath through your nose, down into your torso. As you exhale, following that movement up through your body and out through your nose. This awareness of your breath will help you to really be present in your body and to settle into this present moment. Now, as we embark on our restorative yoga journey here today, this will be a very passive and receptive type of practice. So as we stay for longer holds in these postures where we're supported by our props, you'll have the opportunity to really explore different sensations in your body. You'll get to investigate, gain insight into some emotions, some feelings, some thoughts that might pop up. And perhaps it'll be a practice in patience for you, a practice in what it feels like to let yourself be rather than having to do to go. And throughout the course of this time on your mat, you might meet some discomfort in the stillness, in the quiet. I invite you to get curious about any discomfort that might arise. Of course, if it is physical pain in your body, that is a sign to change the pose in some way. But if it's this discomfort in your mind, this kind of restlessness, get curious and maybe investigate where that might be coming from. See if perhaps just for today you can let yourself relax a little bit more into whatever these postures might have to offer. And through these explorations, you will gain extremely valuable feedback, getting to know your body, your breath, your mind, your heart. Information that you can take with you off of your mat into your life. So we're in this posture for another minute or so here. Letting the hips, the heart open, getting used to the support of the props. And at any point when you do start to experience any restlessness, discomfort, antsiness, I invite you to come back to your breath in those moments. So once again, come back to this practice of following the inhale, following the exhale. Maybe even counting each breath in and out to help keep you here in your body, on your mat. Let's take another breath in right here and let it out. Moving slowly, gently here. Begin to press your legs back towards one another, maybe using your hands to help, planting the soles of your feet onto the floor. And then pressing through your arms, your hands, slowly lift yourself up off of your props. Really slowly bringing yourself to an upright position. And maybe the eyes choose to flutter open here, just helping you orient yourself. And we'll find ourselves in a seated position. So sitting to the edge of your blanket, keeping your props as they are. I'm just going to turn to face you as we find a little moment for some movement here before our next nice long hold. So with your next inhale, sitting nice and tall, I invite you to spread your arms out really wide, like you're about to give your best friend a hug. As you exhale, wrap your arms around you, hugging your shoulder blades, tucking your chin, and slightly rounding your spine back. As you inhale, sit tall once again, spreading the arms wide, maybe this time lifting your chest, lifting your chin. As you exhale, cross your arms, opposite arm on top, as you wrap your arms around you and round back. Again, with your breath, inhaling to open up, lift your heart. Exhale, hug yourself as you round back. A few more times here as you inhale, opening the arms, opening the chest. Exhale, hug and round back, stretching through the back body. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale. Really riding the waves of the breath here as you inhale to open your arms. Exhale, hug and round back. And this time as you inhale, open your arms, sit up nice and tall. With your exhale, drop your left hand, reach your right arm up and over. Finding yourself in a side stretch here. Getting heavy down through your hips, really reaching out through those right fingertips. Breathing some space, some lightness into that right side body as you inhale. And exhale here. With your next inhale, coming back through center, arms out wide. Exhale, dropping to the other side, left arm coming overhead. Notice how it feels to stretch through this left side waist. Might feel slightly different than what you experienced on the other side. And perhaps playing with sending your breath over into that left side of your rib cage, your left side waist, creating a little bit more space. Staying for a full breath in and complete breath out. Inhaling back up through center, arms spread nice and wide one more time. And then exhale to release your arms down into your lap. Lovely. Scooting yourself back now to once again sit against your pillow or bolster. This time we're gonna bend the knees, bring them to the right side of your mat, and then scoot that right hip until it's touching your bolster or your pillow. So we're keeping the same setup of our props. Now we're turning to face that right side of the mat. So it's up to you whether you'd like to stack or stagger your legs, whatever feels more comfortable. We're going to slowly move ourselves into a twist. So lifting your spine tall, please take an inhale here. With your exhale, turn your chest towards your pillow and then slowly lower down until your right cheek finds your prop. Now, once again, you can kind of wiggle around, adjust yourself until you're super comfy cozy here. Once again, chest to the pillow and head turned to the same direction as your knees. Now, arms can rest down onto the floor. I like to kind of frame my blocks with my arms. It feels really supportive for me. And then eyes can close, gaze can soften as you settle in here. Once again, we have a longer hold here. We have some time to spend in this twist. So really make sure you're comfortable. And know that at any point in time, you can readjust, reevaluate this posture to make yourself comfortable. So while you're here, I invite you to begin to explore what's going on. So what's going on in your body? What sensations are you experiencing through this twist? And you don't even necessarily have to give a name, give a label to these sensations. Maybe it's enough to simply notice that there are sensations going on. Maybe notice where they are. And when we take away the labels, we take away the good and bad and allow the sensation to just be. Maybe today you choose to stay here, just exploring the body, the sensations in the body. Maybe it feels all right for you to start to investigate how you're feeling emotionally. Any moods that are popping up for you here, any thoughts that might be popping up for you. Noticing how it feels to be on your mat here today. Taking this time to rest, relax, reset. And once again, we don't need to label, we don't need to see anything as good or bad, but rather acknowledging whatever might be there, without expectation, without judgment, without the need to change anything. And we'll stay for about 4 more rounds of breath on this side of our twist. Let's take one more inhale here. Nice, slow, smooth exhale. With your next inhale, moving slowly, begin to press down into your palms, lifting yourself up away from your props. Really, really take your time as you come back to an upright position. Bring your knees, your chest back through center. And pause here for as long as you'd like, just letting yourself sit upright. When you're ready, we're going to move that twist to the other side. So same thing here, letting your knees drop over to the left, bringing your left hip in line there with your pillow, scooting up to meet your pillow. And then hands are going to frame your props here as you sit nice and tall. With an exhale, turn your chest towards your pillow, slowly lowering yourself down, turning your head to the side so your left cheek is resting here on your props. And as you settle down, readjusting, getting yourself really settled here to be comfy, to be cozy. Perhaps closing your eyes if they're not already closed. And as best you can, letting yourself relax the weight of your body down into your props. Really taking some time as you first arrive to follow your breath. Letting each round of breath relax your body a little bit more. And it really just might be a little bit more. It might be relaxing a little tiny bit at a time. That's A-okay. There's no expectation for this to be a perfect practice in any way. There's no expectation to be completely relaxed right away. This is really a practice, a process of getting to know yourself and getting to know yourself specifically in these moments of quiet, of stillness. Sometimes in life we don't get a lot of these moments where we can just be, where things are a little bit more quiet, a little bit more calm. We're going to be here in this twist for another 10-ish rounds of breath. And I invite you this time to stay here in stillness and silence. Remembering you can always come back to following your breath if you start to get a little restless, a little distracted along the way. And I'll bring us all back together in another minute or so here. All together, let's take another inhale here. And exhale completely. Moving gently through your body as you begin to press through the arms, bringing yourself up away from your props. Coming back to a nice upright seat. Turning yourself back through center. Sitting up nice and tall for a moment, maybe even wrapping your arms around your shins or the backs of your thighs. Tucking your chin towards your chest, giving yourself a nice big hug here. Some days it can feel like a lot just to show up to the mat, let alone really let yourself feel into your body, your mind, your heart. So give yourself a moment of gratitude. Congratulate yourself for being here, for doing this, for taking this time. And let's take another breath in and breath out. Sitting up nice and tall when you're ready. We're going to rearrange our props a little bit here. So go ahead and deconstruct your little ramp that you've made for yourself. We're going to be using all our props still for this next one. But this time our folded up blanket is going to come all the way to the top of the mat, acting as a nice little pillow for us here. Your pillow is going to be acting as a small support for your back bend here. So you can choose, depending on the width and the thickness of your pillow, to either lie it out flat like so, or to put it up on its side. I'm going to put it up on its side for today. So your pillow is going to be coming to your rib cage, right about here, just underneath your shoulder blades. So you can choose, again, whatever height, whatever thickness is going to work for your pillow, or of course if you have a yoga bolster. And you can adjust depending on your proportions how far away these props will be from one another as well. Your blocks here, the final puzzle piece, are going to be underneath your knees as you lie back. So I like to have mine on the medium setting here. If you'd like, you can put them lower, probably not higher for this one. And the legs are going to be just about as wide as your mat. So get yourself about set up there, blocks under the knees. We'll get the pillow ready and start to lie back. So once again, your pillow is right there at your rib cage, right underneath your shoulder blades. And then hopefully your head is going to fall back onto that blanket. Nice gentle support here as you release back into this sweet, gentle back bend. So while you're here, again, with that pillow or bolster behind the ribs, you're looking for this lift of the chest. And it doesn't have to be anything big or dramatic, just enough to feel this gentle rise. And then your blocks or maybe even a blanket under the knees here helps to support the low back as we back bend. Arms can rest wherever they feel most natural, perhaps by your sides, palms facing up, letting the fronts of your shoulders open up here. And as you might have guessed, we're going to be here for a few minutes in this shape, giving yourself the opportunity to really melt into this posture. So in our yoga practice, the poses that we do all have a purpose. So this pose in particular, as we back bend, as we lift the chest, perhaps can you feel just being in this pose, laying in this position, can you feel anything shift? It might be subtle. So when we come into back bends such as this, we're giving ourselves the opportunity to really open through the space of the heart. So sometimes by literally opening the heart space, like in backbending postures, you give yourself an opportunity for a deeper release or this deeper expansion through your heart. It's not just physical, but it's really energetic. So again, perhaps today you find a little resistance or discomfort being here. And that's okay. If you need to come out of the pose, you come out of the pose. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you find you can breathe through that discomfort, breathe through that resistance, maybe that's the practice that you need today. We're here for about 2 more minutes in this shape. And so today, this restorative practice is really centered around this practice of self-love, which is kind of a big term, right? That can feel kind of intimidating sometimes, or maybe it feels a little bit cheap, depending on how you view this term self-love, how it's been used a lot in kind of popular culture. And I invite you today, as you really explore this heart opening, this practice of self-love, cultivating that, whatever that means to you, recognizing that this practice can be simple, right? This doesn't have to be huge gestures of self-care. This doesn't have to be this total 180 transformation of suddenly loving everything about yourself. But it can be little by little. Just like physically relaxing into these postures can be a gradual process, so too can this process of loving yourself be really slow and sweet and gradual. Maybe today it's self-acceptance, self-appreciation. Maybe it really is just being with yourself without judgment as best you can. Whatever this practice means for you today, whatever you choose to explore, you decide how deep you want to go with it. But know that wherever you go, you are supported. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath in this shape here. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose or mouth, whatever feels like a nice release. And all together, let's take one final inhale here. Exhale to let it out. Moving slowly, slowly start to bend your knees, bringing them off of your blocks, planting the soles of your feet onto your mat. And then gently rolling onto the right side of your body. Really take your time with this transition. Maybe pausing for a few moments, laying on your side. And then eventually pressing yourself up, coming all the way off of your props and up to seated. Lovely. Please move your blocks off to the side. We're done with them for today. And bring your pillow around so that now it's going to come under the knees. So where your blocks just were. Your blanket is still going to act as a pillow for your head, giving you a little extra cushion. And when you're ready, you can lay back down onto your back. Once again, head on your blanket, tips of your shoulders just about meeting the edge of your blanket there. And your pillow underneath your knees. Resting the arms wherever they feel most comfortable. Perhaps closing your eyes, maybe even you have an eye pillow or a scarf that you can place over your eyes. Letting yourself really drop into this moment. Before we completely settle into stillness, let's take one last little bit of movement here. So as you're ready, right knee is going to hug in towards your chest, bringing your hands to catch that right leg. Maybe rolling through the right ankle if that feels nice. Maybe moving gently through the right hip. And as you hug that right knee to your chest, maybe feeling a gentle release through the low back. Maybe a little stretch through the top of that left hip, left thigh. Let's take another inhale here. And as you exhale, replace that right leg, stretching it out over your pillow. Let's switch sides, drawing the left knee towards the chest as you're ready. Catching the leg with your hands, giving a gentle squeeze. Maybe rolling through your ankle, moving through your hip, Finding a little bit of last little movement here before we settle into our final resting pose today. Let's take another inhale, spending some time with that left leg here. As you exhale, gently release, left leg comes long to meet your right. Arms by your sides once again, settling down. Finding our Shavasana, our corpse pose. Relaxing into this final posture of our practice today. And as you rest into your Shavasana today, I offer you a short meditation to tune in a little bit more with this energy of self-love, self-appreciation. So as we relax the body, find stillness, I invite you to once again come back to your breath, following this flow in and out through your nose, feeling your breath sweeping through your body from head to toe. Feel that your breath can be natural here, not forced in any way, but comfortable, easy. Flowing that breath in through the nose, into your body, and releasing your breath out through your nose. And bringing your awareness to your heart space. Drawing that internal gaze to that point right at the middle of your chest. And seeing and feeling here this glowing white light. And this white light, as it sits in your chest, it feels warm. It is radiant. And you notice that as you breathe, this white light, it begins to grow and expand in your chest. This light begins to stretch through the entire space of your heart, your chest, your upper back, into your rib cage. And as the light moves through your body, it spreads this warmth. It illuminates all these nooks and crannies of the body. And as you breathe, this white light, it continues to spread, moving up through the head, out through the arms, down through the legs. This light moving into every space, every corner of your body. Bringing with it this illumination, this warmth, this vibrance. Exuding all the way out through your toes, your fingertips, through the crown of your head. And as this light fills your entire body, this internal space, you notice it begins to stretch out of your body, covering your skin from head to toe, feeling your entire body, this beacon of light, of warmth. This illumination, it only grows, only expands as it starts to fill your space, taking up your yoga mat, taking up your room, maybe even taking up the building where you are right now. Watching, feeling this white light grow, radiate, illuminate. Spreading with it this warmth, this compassion, this nourishment. Not only keeping it for yourself, feeling it within you, but also feeling yourself as the source, that you are able to radiate this light out to the world, out to others. Feeling that self-love can take many forms. It can be a giving to yourself, a giving to others. Or perhaps self-love can feel like a release. So as you watched that white light grow, expand, illuminate, now let yourself release that image of the white light. Let yourself relax into your body, relax into your breath, to be here in this moment. And you are so welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like, soaking in this sweet restorative practice. But if you're ready now to seal your practice for the day, I invite you to bring your awareness back into your physical body, feeling yourself resting on the earth, residing in your space, and inviting gentle movement back into your body, starting to wiggle your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and ankles, moving and stretching in any way that feels good as you reawaken. Eventually bending into your knees and rolling onto either side of your body. Moving slowly, gently, with great care and tenderness as you transition out of your Shavasana. When the time feels right, slowly bringing yourself up to a seated position on your mat. Perhaps even sitting onto your pillow or onto your blanket, since you have them handy. Ending this practice together, sitting up tall, chest is lifted, heart is proud. And if it feels right for you, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart to Anjali Mudra. I thank you so much for meeting me on the mat today. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste. Be well.